Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, coming at you with yet another Giallo review. And I've been doing a lot of Giallo films and getting down there though. This is one of the last few. And it might just happen to be the most sleaziest and graphic ones, and that is Lucio Fulci's The New York Ripper. This movie kind of shows why Argento is the Giallo king. Fulci isn't. Like, his actual horror films are better than his Giallos. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Fulci has good Giallo films. Don't Torture a Duckling, Lizard in a Woman's Skin. This one, though, it feels more like a straightforward slasher, but with mystery. I mean, I do like The New York Ripper. But it just... And I like sleazy movies. I mean, Maniac is one of my favorite slasher films. You know, it's the only one that's coming to mind right now. But, you know, this... I don't really know how to explain it. I just got done watching it for like the 4th or 5th time since I've had it. The most controversial horror film ever made. I don't know about that. I don't know about most controversial. I mean, it doesn't... I haven't heard too many people talk about it. I mean, it's not like Cannibal Holocaust or anything like that. And I mean, the story, obviously it takes place in New York. It's just this guy who talks and quacks like a duck and slashes women around New York. And there's this elderly detective, I think it's Williamson. To look it up here. Yeah, Lieutenant Williams. He's played by Jack Hedley. He teams up with Dr. Paul Davis, played by Paolo Malco, to sort of set up a profile. And I mean, the only real thing this movie has going for it, other than it does have kind of a depressing ending. But it would be its kill scenes. Its kill scenes are, like, HorrorDVDs.com says, Fulci at his most brutal. I would agree to that. I mean, City of the Living Dead, Zombie, those are gory movies, but this one is just... Sorry. I mean, this one has graphic, like... Okay. First woman is killed on a ferry, just stabbed a bunch of times. The second kill, which not only is there a very long live sex show, which anytime I watch a 70s or 80s film that takes place in New York and there's a porno theater or a sex peep show or whatever, I feel like I need to take a shower. It just grosses me out. Hold on. You know, like the porno theater and Taxi Driver, it grosses me out. Very graphic scenes of sexuality all throughout this. I'll say that. But, you know, the girl in the show, she goes to her dressing room and gets a broken bottle to her crotch area, bunch of blood. And, you know, this other woman gets sliced up pretty good. And I'm not going to get too much into the plot because it's really not much of one. There's just a lot of stuff that goes nowhere. It just feels like it was meant for sleaze's sake. Like, you have this one sort of nympho woman who also frequents the sex shows and records the tapes for her husband because they have, like, an open marriage. And, I mean, the movie wants you to believe that it's this guy... On his right hand, he's missing these 2 fingers. Of course, it's a Fulci film, so it's all like purple and discolored and almost zombie looking. But then, you know, like one of our male, like, who was it? You know, like this one woman that gets attacked. She lives. Her boyfriend is Well, it says Andrew Painter on this. A lot of people must have been ashamed of this movie because almost every actor is credited under a different name. He was the lead guy from A Blade in the Dark, which I've done a review for. This is probably going to be a really short review. But, I actually forgot where I was. There's not much of a plot. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really go anywhere. Like the whole nympho with husband with the open marriage. It just, because she gets killed, then the husband's never seen again. Wanting you to think it's the guy with the hand. I will say there is one death in here that is really ugh. I'm not gonna say who it is, not that it really matters, but she's tied naked to a bed, and she gets cut down her chest and stomach, one of her tits, and you up close of her nipple, like being sliced in half, and then like down her forehead and down her open eye. Lots of blood. It's not as full of guts and stuff as other Fulci films, but there's definitely a lot of fucking blood. I will say spoiler alert before I reveal who the killer is. But I know I haven't said any actors' names really because everyone's credited by a different name. I know this is going to be a shitty review, but, fuck it. Spoiler alert. Phone going off. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I forgot where I was. So yeah, spoiler alert, just going to say who the killer is. So, one girl that gets attacked, Faye Majors, who I think was in City of the Living Dead, or it was the other blonde woman that looks like her was in City of the Living Dead, the one that vomits her insides. Her physicist boyfriend, the lead guy from A Blade in the Dark, he's the killer. I will say the ending where, because there's this little girl in a hospital that has a duck on her end table. And it shows the doctor and the lieutenant sort of talking to each other, saying she has very high intelligence, but, she's prone to hallucinations and delusions. And, you're supposed to believe, oh, maybe she's the killer. Then there's this whole thing where her and him are on the phone while there's a duck voice going on. Find out it's him. Reason being because his daughter is dying of a terminal illness. And she'll never grow up to be a woman, so he's using this sort of duck persona to take out other women out of vengeance. But then, then the doctor describes, all she really wanted was a little bit of affection. And you get this really sad scene where the girl is trying to call him. It's like, Daddy, don't leave me alone. Dad. And she's crying because he's dead. Well, she doesn't know that, but anyway, I know this has been kind of a crappy review, but it's not a very well put together Giallo. Again, it feels more just like a slasher film, but with mystery. It's definitely not an Argento film, and it's not earlier Giallo Fulci. It's not a terrible movie. The kills are well worth it, but like the score, there's not much to it. The score, it sounds like an 80s cop music. It actually reminded me of the theme to Taxi for some reason. But yeah, it's not a terrible movie. I don't hate it. I like it for its kills. That's about it. The story's not that great, and it's just not as strong a Giallo as other ones. But I don't hate on it. Would I recommend it? If you like Fulci, definitely, because this is one of his bloodier movies. If you really like Giallos, and you want to see sleazy ones, then definitely. But just keep in mind, it's not an Argento film. But anyway, that's all I got for New York Ripper. I don't know if this will be a mild rant or just a regular review, but like I said, I don't not like it. It's just I've seen way better Giallos, but the kills in that are bloody enough to keep me interested. So there's that. I just thought it, whatever. New York Ripper, room 237. Thank you.